Welcome to What's Left, a weekly political discussion challenging the mainstream left. We are online at what'sleftpodcast.com. You can find the link to our blog in the episode notes. Please subscribe, rate, review, turn on your notifications, share your favorite episode, and jot down our information wherever you found this episode. My name is Andy Libson. I'm a socialist and teacher here in Oakland. And we also have regular Jessica, who's a faculty member, teacher, and I guess organizer in Oregon. Who you not see here is Eduardo. Eduardo is right now in Colombia, and he's just so busy. He's been regular on our episodes, but he can't make this one today, and possibly not the next episode. So it might be 2 weeks before you see him. Anyway, welcome, Jessica.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
Great. It's good to have you. And so today, what we thought we would talk about is actually, well, in some ways, it's a boring topic. It's a YouTube censorship, but I think most people are familiar with YouTube censoring episodes. We certainly are. Getting community strikes. You can't say something about January 6th. You can't say that the elections in the United States are fraudulent in 2020. You can't talk about how the pandemic is not real and it's a plandemic. And if you do that, often your episodes get taken down. And that's happened to us a number of times. Is there anything else we've been censored for? Like in that kind of way?
I don't follow. I mean, because I don't see the back end very often. I don't follow.
I know the other one. When we did our episodes about the vaccines, whatever those shots, when literally we were just giving information about them. This was early, like this was a few years back, when we didn't have the data to actually prove all the things that we thought these things, were bad about these things. We were just talking about how these shots were not normal, whether they were coming from Johnson & Johnson or the Moderna Pfizer one, which both those types of shots are very new technology, and I would just say gene therapy technology. So we put out episodes about those shots, and that got censored. And then
some of them did, some of them didn't, though, right?
No, all the ones where we put out actual information about them, when we actually went through New York Times articles and showed how these things worked. And then, of course, we made our statement about how effed up these things were, how experimental they were, and I wouldn't put it in me. It was off. It was like it was up for maybe a week or a few days and gone. We've also had episodes like the one where we interviewed Amanda about her anti-vax position, which I am anti-vax now as well, and I think Jessica, you are as well. And that was up for like a year, and then after a year, they found it and shut it and took it down, and then we got a community strike. So that form of the censorship, I think people are more familiar with. What I want to talk about is the censorship on the comments section, which I had a very real-time experience that I want to share with people, because I feel like this, in many ways, I feel like this stuff, it's probably the same thing, but it's more pernicious because to me, it happened in real time. As I was putting comments on, I would see this little thing spin, and then the comment would just never show up, and it would just disappear into a hole. And I guess I want to talk a little bit about how YouTube is constructed and how they create these little bins, and they create little options for YouTube creators to say, no, I want all the comments, or here's where we can place these pending comments for review. But some of these comments never appear there, and they just disappear. And people have often, said, hey, what are you guys doing taking down our comments? And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about because I never saw anything. And having now had this experience with Jeff Strahl, I just want to report on this one experience and a little experiment I did. Maybe we can kind of get a sense of what it is. And I asked Jessica here, I wanted you to maybe try to repeat the experiment and maybe try a few other things to see what works and what doesn't on YouTube's comment section. I guess I'm talking a lot.
Is your objective to try to figure out how the algorithm works, or what's your objective here?
Well, first of all, for it to be so immediate, I know it's AI, right? It's not a human sitting there monitoring it. and I just want to see what they have their AI doing. Like where is the line? Because what you'll note in this thing is I'm going to have you read, or we'll read Jeff Straw's entire thing. I tried to publish the whole thing. I'm going to ask you to do the same thing, and then I was able to publish bits. So maybe I should just go through, this. My goal is to just kind of be like, kind of get a better sense of what goes through and what doesn't. Not so you can try to stop it or fight it, but just this is the world that we are in my opinion, this world of censorship is just starting. Like we're at the very beginning of AI censorship that's going to, I feel, take a much larger scale later. And so I'd like to know what it looks like in what I would call its early stages.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay.
All right, let me just show some things, and I'm going to share my screen first. All right, so this is the portal. Let's get that down there. Portal to our What's Left page, and when neither the analytics, and when you go into the content, you see our various episodes, and this is our big episode, the So Are You Voting for RFK? And you can see it tells you how many views you get and how many comments. One of the first areas I saw, and I was trying to find some of the episodes, but I couldn't remember which one it was sometimes these comments here, it will say like a number like 9, but only 7 comments will be shown. So I've seen that show up before, and I wish I could remember which episodes they were, but that's not happening. And to give you a sense of what they allow you to do here on each of these episodes, this is me editing the So Are You Voting for RFK Jr.? And if you go down here to the bottom, YouTube gives each producer or publisher a chance to say, what do you want to do about comments and ratings? And for all the episodes we have, it says allow all comments. All right, so that's true for all our episodes. And then, of course, they have this thing that said hold potentially inappropriate comments for review, and you can even increase strictness if you want. So we've never actually, I think the default is right here, but I always do this. So that, just to be clear, like all our episodes allow all comments. Nevertheless, despite the fact that we say we allow all, and I want to say one other thing about comments. There's something else that you can do. Here's the comments from that episode. And you can see there's this area here called held for review. So conceivably, somebody could post, this is where I have sometimes found comments that didn't go through. And it's weird. I don't know why the things that have shown up here have just been really random, because I've seen completely legitimate comments show up here and I have to let them go through. So I would imagine if a quote bad comment came through, this is where it would land if you were giving them permission. I mean,
if it has like a swear word in it, or you put a link, stuff like that will be flagged here. But then you're right, sometimes it's just random.
Right, but rarely do I find anything placed here, or placed like the kinds of things that are put here. It just doesn't. YouTube doesn't use the space too much. They just like I said, what they seem to do is they basically just eliminate it. So let me go to what actually happened. All right. So this goes back a few weeks ago, where there's a listener of ours, Jeff Straw, who had basically sent this post to Workers and Students for Choice in response to our "Are you going to vote for RFK Jr.?" And he had posted this on Facebook and said, "Hey, Facebook's putting it in a pending box," and they took this thing and Facebook put this post on a pending box. But he also said, "I can't even get this on YouTube, so I just wanted you to see if you could do something about that." Like he thought maybe again, I don't know if he thought we were taking it down or whatever, but YouTube wouldn't let it post. So here was the comment. He goes, "My comment, I will try again, but someone is removing my comments on this page meaning YouTube." And he goes, "RFK Jr. lies routinely about the ghastly record of his father and his presidential uncle, promoting them as men of peace when they pursued counterinsurgency, war, and a conventional arms buildup. he continues to push the con job, pandemic, COVID-19, SARS-CoV-2, mega fraud narrative, which covers up the tyranny and mass murder which began in 2020 before the shots and enables future ops like Operation Pandemic. Now doing so with the lab leak bioweapon disinformation rap. He pushes Bitcoin and other 4IR measures, fronting for 4IR investors like Steve Kirsch, who finance his campaign generously, and his campaign philosopher Charles Eisenstein, who works with CeeLo Corp to push fourth industrial revolution in various facets of life. Read items about Camelot Corner by Alison McDowell at Wrench in the Gears. You see the link there, and a lot of stuff by Eric Francis Capolino at Planet Waves. So I took this whole thing and I put it, like, I basically tried to use my, like, Andrew Libson's account and tried to post it, and it wouldn't let me. And I took this whole thing and I used the What's Left podcast account, and it wouldn't let me. Like, the thing would literally just spin, and then nothing. And then I think it would, like, register, and nothing would ever appear on the actual page. And so this was very disturbing. And so one of the things I ended up doing was a little mini experiment. What I ended up doing was doing a little test. So this is my account, Andrew Libson 9317, and I just took sentence by sentence to see what it could post. And you'll see that I was able to post sentences like, "I will try again, but someone is removing my comments on this page." So this showed up. All right. RFK Jr. routinely lies about ghastly record, something about arms buildup, that showed up. And enables future ops like Operation Pandemic, not now doing so with lab leak bioweapon disinformation rap, that showed up. And it let me say this stuff about Bitcoin. It would not let me say anything about the Alison McDowell and Wrench in the Gears. And there was another section from that paragraph that it wouldn't let me post. So these were the only pieces that it would let me post from that. And I just found this very troubling. And I thought we would just do this experiment in real time. And some questions I have are like, maybe links can't be shown, maybe links can't be posted on there. So I'd like Jessica, you to try those links again, and maybe first see if there's any questions about anything I'm saying.
Okay.
Does it make sense to you what I'm saying so far?
Yeah, in terms of what happened, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on with that. All I know is it looks like an AI operation actively monitoring and then kicking things out of the comment section, not giving them to the not allowing the person who has host the channel to even have the option of posting it. And I think the biggest thing was even me trying to post it from What's Left podcast, like the actual channel owner, it did not allow me to post that comment. So nothing, whether I was Andrew Libson, whether I was What's Left podcast.com kind of thing, or whether it was Jeff, it was not going to let it get posted. And that to me seemed very chilling. So the first thing I maybe want to do is just see if we can repeat that. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
So I should share my screen, right?
Yeah.
Let me get the comment first. So you want me to try to post the whole comment?
Yeah, maybe just the top part you can leave out, but the meat of it, the political part of it, including the links.
Okay. Yeah, I had a YouTube channel, like not a particularly political one, years ago, as you know, like years ago.
Yeah.
And even back then, I'm pretty sure anytime someone tried to post a link, even if it was like a YouTube link, it would be flagged and like held for review. So
by you or by YouTube?
by YouTube.
Okay.
Look how happy we all look. Okay. So this is from
and
my
sort by newest so we can see if it posts. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, good. That's what I saw. Spin. All right, so it looks like it's on there, right?
Yeah.
And now refresh your screen.
And then out of that text, you were like, let's do this. Let's have a discussion here. Because you're clearly passionate about that, and I'm passionate about where I'm coming from, and let's just see what at least that's what
Yeah.
Well, maybe I don't know. I want to speak for Eduardo, but if you can convince me and Andy to vote, sorry, let me just mute it. Okay. Yeah, it's not letting me reply, which makes me think that the AI already has like flagged it.
Yeah, that's
like. Can you see it on your end?
Okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead and refresh it again and then see.
Or like, what I can do is I can just open it in like a new incognito. I don't think this one's going to share.
Because I think I remember the same thing, is it was maybe up there for a moment and then boom, gone.
Yeah, I mean, that's how like you said, it's just robots. So yeah, well, let me sort by, it's not there.
Oh, how are you saying it's not there?
Because I opened, you can't see it because I'm only sharing one window, but I opened an incognito window, so not logged into my account, and it's not there. So it either was immediately held for review or immediately removed. I can't tell.
And let's see if it, and let's see if it shows up here now.
Yeah, and I can't even see it anymore on mine.
Okay. So and do you remember if it was 901 comments or was it 902? Like, that's the other thing I'm thinking. Does the number of comments register?
I don't know on this one, but I think a lot of times, it does. Because I know, like, when you were on your honeymoon and I was doing stuff on the back end, it would say like way more comments than there actually were.
Yeah.
Like, I remember like Marjorie's comments, like 80% of them were getting flagged and weren't showing up.
Right.
But I could see them on the back end.
Now, one thing we can try, I am curious on your end, if you just remove the links, does it let you post it?
Oh, whoops. Okay, so here we have the same comment, just minus the last line with the links.
Okay. The number didn't change. I see that.
Well, would it change until I refresh, though?
Okay. Let's see. You're right.
Yeah, see it changes. It's there for a second, but let's see if it's there in like a minute. Or
do you want to do that reply thing?
Hey, Jeff.
So it's already, that suggests there's a problem if we can't reply to it correctly.
Yeah. And it does also, because something that occurred to me is like, say you post something on some random channel that is
wait, but I just want to confirm that comment got censored as well. Yeah.
I'll refresh it just to confirm. But
so and the way to know, it looks like, is when we do our reply and it shows the red, like we have no idea what you're trying to reply.
Well, I refreshed and now it's gone. So there's just like a slight lag on the user end. It's interesting that it's definitely the comment, not the user, because I know, like, I always sort of wondered if, like, say I had a comment flagged, or say I had like 10 comments flagged, like, does that make me more likely to have my username like blocked on other channels, if I'm commenting on different stuff? But it's, in this case, like, it's clearly the comment itself. There's something in that comment that flags it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Allison's name.
This is what I'd like to do, is if you'd be willing to, I'd like to, well, can you just get a nondescript? Well, first of all, I'd like to do things like putting Allison McDowell's name in there. Like, Allison McDowell is awesome or something like that. And let's see. But can we just do this share in real time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I always forget, is it 2 L's or 1 L?
1 L.
It's gonna get flagged anyway, but
we'll see.
Trouble with that, with her name, and then 2 L's.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's fine, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so they're good with that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And can we try like a link that is like, who cares? CNN's news or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like one of their articles.
Let's do like something so nondescript.
Right. Cardi B.
Not Cardi B throwing the microphone at the crowd. It's
Yes.
skill season.
Put it in the comment section.
So you want me to put the link?
Yeah, just like C. Cardi B rocks. That's funny. Okay. And then does it last?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. See? That link lasted, right? So that link is fine.
So what if Jeff had wrench in the gears linked?
Let's try wrenching the gears. The other one was Planet Waves with Francis Capoletto, Eric Capoletto. Well, that's fine too.
Planet Waves, right?
Yeah. All right. And just wait, why are the comments not going up in numbers? Okay, maybe you have to refresh. So we'll see.
Yeah, you have to refresh to see that go up. Interesting. So some of them disappeared.
They disappeared. Okay.
All the ones with links disappeared.
But Cardi B disappeared as well.
Yeah, but that had a link.
Right. So in a sense, it's not really pulling down like Allison McDowell's work. It's not allowing you to post. It's just, and it's saying no one's going to post any links here.
Yeah, which honestly, like, I don't even, like, I kind of understand why YouTube doesn't want a bunch of like spammy like links all over their comment section. Like,
I feel like no, I don't like. I mean, I feel like that should be up to the channel host. Like, no, I don't agree with that. Like,
can you go into the back end and do those links show up in like held for review or flagged or anything, or they just
let's go check. But I'm pretty sure they won't. But at least go check. Okay. And I'm going to share my screen because I definitely wanted that Cardi B article. So why would I don't want our audience to not be able to read that.
Yeah, I mean, this is the hard-hitting geopolitics that
that's funny. All right, hold on here. All right, so I'm gonna I don't need this part. I'm gonna lose all this by refreshing. Well, actually, I'll just go to the held for review. Okay, and I'll refresh that. There's nothing there. Yeah, I didn't think there would be anything there. It basically just says no, you're not allowed to post links on the comment section. Even though it says
they don't go anywhere? Really?
Say again?
So they're not anywhere on the back end?
Not that I see. Okay, because let's go.
What about like your notifications in the top right? Because that's where all of like Marjorie's comments kept showing up. Like I could see them on the notifications, but then I couldn't see them on the episode.
What do you mean on the notification?
Like on the top right, do you have like I guess maybe you have to go just go to like the homepage or something. Just go to our channel.
The dashboard, right?
Well, not in studio. Like, go
Oh,
just click on our channel logo.
this
Yeah,
guy.
just click on that. Yeah. And then, do you see the 9+ in the top right,
Right.
like the little
Oh
bell?
yeah. Yeah.
Like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
they're not there either.
oh, that's yeah, because all it says is Jessica Holmes.
Gives you like the most recent ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they just disappear. Interesting. Or honestly, I don't know. I don't know how interesting that is, but
Well, that's what I wanted to do. Obviously, there was something to be clear. There was some words in whatever Jeff had written that it also just said you're not. This whole thing's not appearing. Like I said, I was able to chunk it. In looking over the comment that Jeff made, oh man, I hope I didn't get rid of the part. Can I go back to my section? It's going to take me forever to get back to my little experiment. But do you see the part that does not look familiar in his comment?
what do you mean that does not look familiar?
Remember, I clipped things out, and some of it I was able to post, and some of it I was able to not post. Let me take a look at what he wrote. Pandemic pushes Bitcoin. It didn't mention it's Steve Kirsch, Charles Einstein Corporation, pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, it has
Something about the mega fraud narrative, which covers up. I'd have to go back, but obviously it did not like something about Jeff's comment.
Well, even when I was responding to comments, it wasn't on the RFK one, but I think it was again when you were out of town. Some of my replies like weren't even going through, like from the what's left, or maybe it was from my channel. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, to me, that was just very troubling. And if nothing else, this will allow our audience to understand that nothing that doesn't get on to nothing that you post is being eliminated by me or by Jessica
Yeah,
or
we
by
don't ever
Warren.
censor
Yeah. And I don't know. It's weird to me that they have this thing that operates there that is not spoken of, but is very active, and it's clearly a program. And it takes down links, yes, but it also discriminates on the basis of political content, because you were not able to post Jeff's link in its entirety because the AI saw something in there, some set of words that said, no, this is not going to do it. It's not enough to say something like Alison McDowell. I don't necessarily, we didn't try Eric Capolino, but it, what's that?
I don't know. I don't know what made it flag, but something.
Yeah. So I don't know. That to me is just weird, and I just wanted to share that with our audience, and be like, let people know that anytime you don't have something posted, it has nothing to do with what we're doing. And I definitely think people should be able to post links to things. Like people have told me, like, oh, you should check this out, you should check that out, and I'm saying, hey, can you send a link? And now I can see, well, maybe they can't, because it's going to get removed.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody like really wants to get in contact with us, or you want to send us a link to something, just email the website. Like, go through the website.
Yeah, you can go to the website. So, but it's not so much about people communicating,
Yeah,
as much as it is about understanding how compromised this infrastructure is and how completely controlled it is. And I feel like we're just at the beginning of it.
yeah. I don't really think it's weird. I think it's right in line with everything we've been talking about with technology and the fourth industrial revolution for like 3 years now. So
Yeah, I don't know why it trips me out so much. And for you, I hear that you're like, dude, what do you think? But it it was really striking to me that this thing was operating so aggressively, um, and obviously it's doing it everywhere along the entire YouTube interface, because it's a massive interface, right? Like all sorts of people writing comments everywhere, and I don't think it's personal. Like I know Marjorie has sometimes told us that she thinks her comments are getting flagged specifically. That might be going on.
Oh no, dude. Have you tried to look closely at her comments? Because I felt that same way. Like again, I don't have a whole lot to compare it to because I'm not usually the one on the back end, but
Yeah,
when Eduardo and I did those live streams, like her comments, which had no links, like they were not, I don't know, they didn't see. Again, like I think
yeah.
trying to make sense of it is just a losing battle. But
But
they did seem like really bizarrely flagged.
okay, so
There's
then
like 2 out of 10 comments that we're going through, like because she left like a bunch.
right,
Well,
okay.
across multiple episodes too, but I don't know.
No, I think that's. I mean, that's just not what I'm experiencing. I don't know if I'm experiencing it, but so I think that's another feature of it is not just the overall architecture of censorship that everyone experiences, but YouTube also has identified a set of names that's in the AI that is basically really on top of them and much more aggressively censoring them. So that's what we face. We face censorship of episodes, censorship of comments, and then we have individual censorship of specific individuals targeted. All of these things being targeted by AI. Because I'm pretty sure that when our episodes get flagged, we're a small channel. When our episodes get flagged, we're not getting flagged by somebody who's watching our stuff. So anyway, that's the world we live in. That's why I do believe that this technology cannot make a revolution. It cannot be in any way used to make the world better. And
Well, and I mean, I don't know how you feel about this. I know like the video, like YouTube, I don't know how our views compare on YouTube, but like I encourage people to not listen on YouTube. Like if that's the only way you're gonna listen to our show, then I guess listen. But I mean, I would pick like any platform over YouTube if it were me.
yeah, I mean, well, we're on Rumble, we're on Odysee, we're on Bitchute, and also we're on the non-video podcast, which I think for these kinds of shows, the people who are going to be listening on iTunes and Spotify, they're like, what are these people talking about? Because there's like some
Well,
visual.
yeah, there's some episodes where it's nice to have visual, but the majority of them, I mean, I listen to like all my podcasts on audio. Um, yeah, I mean, it's all master's tools. Obviously, there's issues with every single platform that we're on.
Yeah,
But this one's definitely the worst.
yeah, but for me, the message isn't say like this platform, but it's just to be like it's like that Zoom episode we did, just for people to be aware. And this is why it trips me out so much, because I feel like I'm having developing awareness of how much censorship and AI's active censorship is already penetrated the most mainstream infrastructures for communicating like this. And it's I don't know. I just find it really weird. Not weird, like who would imagine, but
Yeah,
for some reason it gives me the creeps.
yeah.
So that's pretty much it. Shortest, one of our shorter
I'll be
episodes.
honest. I don't think anyone's gonna be interested in this episode. Not to shit on your idea. Like, I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know why. Maybe like people who have been censored will be interested to see just like what it's like on the back end if you've never seen it before. But yeah, to me, it feels like an energy harvest to try to figure out
Right.
like the algorithm or whatever. Like, it's not for me. You know,
Yes.
it's
And
purposefully like convoluted and confusing.
right.
It
And
makes no sense.
to let people know, this was Jessica's not complaint, but she was like, okay, if this is what you want to do. And I was like, yes, I want to do this episode. I want to get this out there.
No,
So
I think good. I mean, sometimes you just, you want to like get something off your chest, but like in a transparent way. And
Yes.
yeah, I'll come up with a boring topic for another time.
Oh my God. You're
No, I'm just
silly.
kidding. Maybe this one will.
Well, here's what I'm going to ask our audience. For the 15 people who watch this episode, please put a comment in there that says, you really appreciated that Andy went through this, and I am now more educated about the level of censorship in YouTube and AI and all. And again, it's not just YouTube. I just feel like it's operating in all electronic and internet media, 3G, 6G, whatever, So this is just, I just feel like this is our world. And like I said, I think it's just the beginning of it.
Totally.
So that's it. Jessica, you're not going to be here for the next episode. Is that correct?
No. Yeah, the Saturday one I won't. We have 2 sick guests coming.
Yes.
So,
So the coming episodes are, I'll say the first and you say the second. I think our next episode will be Eric Lerner, who he visited us and talked about how the Big Bang never happened, and also talked about his work on plasma fusion. And he's going to talk about both of those things: the crisis in cosmology, the increasing evidence that Big Bang never happened that came from the James Webb Space Telescope. I've been really wanting him to talk about some of those findings that have been coming out that seem to confirm that or are in line with the idea that Big Bang never happened. So he's gonna talk with me. Eduardo's gonna be gone. Jessica's gonna be gone. We're just gonna like geek it
like
out.
Attack of the Science Nerds.
Yes,
but in the best way.
But I promise my job is going to try to also help make it. If there's any part that I feel like Eric's a little like not confusing, but maybe over the head, like try to break it down so we can all get there. So that'll be my role. So I'm looking forward to that.
You should dress up like Bill Nye and Neil deGrasse Tyson or something.
No, I don't like either of those two individuals. But what about you? You have lined up a guest for us as well.
Yeah, and then we're coming up. We're also going to have Alex G on. What's her actual last name? Guten Tag, Alex Guten Tag. On Twitter, she's Alex G. So I think it was Alex G. Mm-hmm. But she's been writing mostly for Tablet Magazine since like pretty much the beginning of all the COVID shit. A lot of really great articles around education and unions. And she's pretty much just, I don't know, I feel like she's one of the reporters that has been providing like really coherent just commentary and reporting throughout the whole last couple of years.
And she's not just a reporter. She was, I don't know if is a teacher, but she definitely was a teacher in Oakland Unified when all this craziness went down. Yeah,
and she worked with special needs kids, and lots of overlap with like you and Eduardo and the San Francisco education and union communities. So yeah, I'm really excited to have her on and hear a bit about her most recent publication and whatever else is on her mind.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. I think we have some good episodes lined up. But first, well, I don't know if people are going to be overwhelmed by this episode. So this episode is going to knock all those ones out of the park.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Jessica. Let's wrap up then. All right. Thanks again, Jessica. That does it for this week's episode. What's Left is a weekly political podcast channel challenging the mainstream left. We post information about our topics and our guests on the episode notes, wherever you found this episode, or on our blog, what'sleftpodcast.com. You can find past episodes to this podcast channel there and connect with us. I remind folks, if you like anything you've heard here, please subscribe, rate, review, turn on your notifications to any of our 9 platforms: Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Bitchute, Odysee, Rumble, YouTube, or Telegram. If you would like to give us feedback about something you've heard or suggest something for us to cover, contact us through our blog. I just want to remind people, Jess, your Twitter handle is at
J89.
Say it one more time.
JHolme89.
At JHolme89. Okay. All right. Well, that's it, everyone. We'll see you again next week. And Jessica, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Sounds good. Peace out.